Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we got a two-game series here in the post-1961 Apba Bats League between the Baltimore Orioles and Kansas City Royals. And in the first game, leading off for the Orioles, playing second base is Roberts. Batting second, playing right field is Markakis. Batting third, playing shortstop is Ripken. Batting fourth, playing center field's Anderson. Batting fifth, playing left field's Frank Robinson. Batting sixth, playing first base is Powell. Batting seventh, playing third base is Brooks Robinson. Batting eighth and doing the catching is Hoyles. And on the mound doing the pitching and batting ninth is Palmer. And for the hometown Kansas City Royals, leading off playing left field is Damon. Batting second, playing center field is Wilson. Batting third, playing third is Brett. Batting fourth, playing right field is Tartable. Batting fifth, playing first base is Mayberry. Batting seventh, doing the catching is Porter. Batting seventh, playing second base is Merrifield. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Escobar. And on the mound, batting ninth is GREINKE. Get down here to the field and get this game started, folks. And we got Brian Roberts to lead it off here for the Orioles. Batting .263, no homers and an RBI. This is Zach Greinke's second appearance. He's 0-1 with a 1.5 ERA. And the Orioles are 3-3. And they are 3.5 games back of the Yankees. Ripken's batting $167. Frank Robinson .217. Brooks batting .227. Brian Roberts batting .263, and Brady Anderson batting .386. McNally with a 4.15 ERA. Palmer enters this game with a 0 ERA. Stone with a 2.57 along with Messina. And Mike with a 6. Let's get down here to Kansas City and get this game started with the first pitch to Brian Roberts. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Greinke strikes him out. Start this game off with 1 up and 1 down for Baltimore. And Nick Markakis comes to the plate. Nick batting .211 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Zach strikes out the first 2 batters he faces here. And KC, Ken and Cal Ripken at least make contact, batting .167 with no homers and an RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Escobar. He fields it cleanly, fires over to first. The Orioles go down in order in the top of the inning. To the bottom of the first we go. Damon, Wilson, and Brett due up. And Johnny's batting 143 with no homers and 2 RBI. This is Jim Palmer's second appearance. He's got 1 win, like we said, hasn't given up an earned run yet. Take a look at Kansas City, who's 3-3, and they are a game and a half back of the Tigers. Wilson batting .357, Damon a $143, Brett only .182. Al Cowlin's .312, and Sweeney batting .214. Saberhagen with a 5.68 ERA. Gubasal with no ERA. Correa pitching with a 1.23 ERA. Appier with a 1.5 along with Greinke entering this game. And let's get down here. And the pitch to Johnny Damon is going to be a base on balls. Palmer walks the first batter he faces. So you got Damon down at first and nobody out. They're going to do a little hit and run here. Get the runner in motion. And that'll be a 22 and 11, 33, a hit and run. It's going to be a pop up down the third. Let's see here. A 15 and a 33. Be the third baseman. That'll be feeling cool. On a hit and run, that's going to be a fly ball, the third, and he's going to fire over to Damon, and they're going to double off Damon on the line drive double play. So now there's 2 down and nobody on. So the hit and run didn't work that time, folks. So the line, that was supposed to be down the third, not second. Redo this. Supposed to be down to Brooks Robinson, the human vacuum cleaner, folks. So now you got 2 down. Here's Brett up. And Brett is batting 182 on the year. No homers and 4 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Ripken with a nice play. Defense taking over here in the bottom of the first as Hunter joins us here. Check out his great channel, folks. And now you got the top of the second due up here with Anderson, Robinson, and Powell. And Brady's batting 386, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center. Wilson makes the catch. And that'll be out number 1 as he gets his counterpart out. And that brings up Frank Robinson, batting 217 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Escobar. He fires over to Mayberry, and that'll be out number 2. And it's up to Powell to get something going here for the Orioles in the top of the second. Powell's batting 333 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Brett. And the Orioles go down in order. To the bottom of the second we go, with Tardival due up here, followed by Mayberry and Porter. And Danny's batting 111 with no homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Ripken. He fires over to first for out number 1. And John Mayberry is up now. And Mayberry's looking for his first hit of the year. He is 0 for 9, folks. And that's going to be a hit down the first base line. And that's going to drop in. That's going to be a 1-out double. So Mayberry's down at second. Like the first hit of the game for either team. Got a runner in scoring position now. Darrell Porter is up, batting 250 with a homer and an RBI. Can Palmer get out of this with nobody scoring? That is the question. That's going to be a ground ball down the third. And that'll be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer strikes him out. Now there's 2 down. And Merrifield's up. And he's batting 100 with no homers and no RBIs. His parallel league joins us here. Yeah, exactly. Yep, old Food Pal from the commercials. You got that right. It's going to be a ground ball down to Ripken. He fires over to first. And the 1-out double goes nowhere. We go to the top of the third. Still nothing. You got Robinson, the Brooks type. Oils and Palmer, the bottom third due up here. Brooks batting 227. He's got a homer and an RBI. Excuse me. That's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Tardival makes the catch. And there's quickly 1 down here in the third. Chris Hoyles comes to the plate. Chris is batting 067. He's 1 for 16, folks. That 1 hit was a homer and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. That's Zach's 3rd strikeout of the game after striking the first 2 out. And we're down to Jim Palmer now. Palmer's looking for his first base hit of the year. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Palmer says, we don't need no stinking DH. He breaks up the no-hitter, folks. First hit of the game for the Orioles is by Palmer. The go-ahead runs down at first. Brian Roberts, who struck out his first time up, is Aaron Reed. And David joins us here. Here's the pitch to Brian. That's going to be against the righty. 17 and a 9. That's going to be a ground ball Down to Escobar. He's up with it. Fires over the first. And the Orioles strand one. To the bottom of the third we go. Talking about Escobar. He'll lead it off. You got Escobar and GREINKE. Then back to Damon at the top of the order. As Ken Castro and Clinton Parks joins us here. And Escobar is batting 200, no homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Marquez calls for it, makes the catch for out number one. And Zach's up now. Zach is 0 for 2 on the year. And that's going to be 0 for 3. That's a ground ball down to Brian. He tosses it over to Powell. And Boog makes the catch. Quickly 2 down here. Back to the top of the order. And Damon, he walked his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer strikes him out. It's only Palmer's second strikeout of the game. But we get to the top of the fourth. It's nothing. We got Marquez due up here. Ripken and Anderson, the 2-3-4 hitters. Nick struck out his first time up against Zach. And that's going to be a base on balls. So the leadoff batter gets aboard here for the big boys. Kyle Ripken grounded out to third his first time, short his first time up. Here's the pitch to Ripken. And that's going to be against a righty, 21. That is going to be a ground ball down the second. And we're going to get Nick down at second. Unable to turn the double play, though. So now Ripken's down there as Beatles joins us here, folks. Check out his great channel. Now you got Brady Anderson up with 1 out and Ripken down at first. Brady flew out the center field his first time up. 0 for 1. And that's going to be a foul ball back behind the plate. Porter takes the mask off. Makes the catch near home plate for out number 2. So it'll be up to Frank Robinson to make Zach pay for his first walk of the game. Ripken walked to lead off this inning. Hasn't moved yet. Frank is 0 for 1, grounded out. His first time up. That's going to be a 17. That's going to be a pop-up down the short. Escobar makes the catch. And the Orioles strand one. Still no score as we go to the bottom of the fourth. We got the top of the order due up here. The 2-3-4 hitters, Wilson, Brett, and Tartable. Willie lined into that hit and run double play. His first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Roberts. He fires over to first. 1 down. Oh, thank you, Ken, buddy. I appreciate it. And George Brett, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out the Ripken his first time. And that's going to be against the righty, 13. That's going to be an infield hit. Brett gets aboard here with only the second hit of the ball game for the Kansas City Royals. So Brett's down at first with a 1 out and Danny Tartable up. And if they can get a ground ball here with that great defense, they can turn 2. Danny's 0 for 1. He grounded out the shortest first time up. And that's what you didn't want to do. As Palmer grooves one. Danny makes good contact. Hits that ball out in the right field. And with 1 out, Brett's got excellent speed. Marquez has got a gun out there. Let's see if they take a chance here. Be a 42. 22 or lower. And who you got up after this? Got the lefty Mayberry up. And they're going to keep him at third. Not going to chance it here with the heart of the lineup coming up. So it'll be a double. And they put the brakes on at third. So second and third. 1 out. Baltimore will play back. They'll give up a run for an out here. Don't want to give up a crooked number in a 0-0 game. John Mayberry up. He doubled his first time up against Palmer. Here's the pitch to John. And that's going to be a big strikeout. Palmer strikes John out for out number 2. His third strikeout of the game was a big one. That brings up Porter now with 2 down. Runners on second and third. He struck out his first time up against Jim. And that's going to be a ground ball down to the human vacuum cleaner down at third. He's going to fire over to first. Brooks makes a nice play. And Palmer gets out of the second and third and 1 out with nobody scoring. Nice piece of pitching by Palmer. We go to the top of the 5th. It's still nothing. We got Boog Powell up, followed by Brooks and Hoyles. Boog is 0 for 1. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Zach strikes him out. As you see, Kansas City's upcoming schedule. They got one more game here in KC against Baltimore. Then the Twins come to town for 3 games, and then the Blue Jays come in after that. Brooks, he's 0 for 1. He flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down back to the mound. Zach's up with it, fires over to Mayberry for out number 2. So can Chris Hoyles get something going in this nothing game? He struck out against Zach back in the third, 0 for 1. And that's going to be a 21. It's going to be a ground ball down to Brett. 1, 2, 3 goes Baltimore. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Merrifield's due up here, followed by Escobar and Greinke, the bottom 3rd. He grounded out. He's 0 for 1 today. That's going to be another ground ball down to Brian. He's up with it for out number 1. And now you got Escobar up. And Escobar is 0 for 1. Flew out to Nick. His first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Palmer. He fields his position well. Fires over the Boog. 2 quick outs here. Back now to Zach Greinke. Can he help his own cause? He grounded out. He's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 we go. To the top of the 6th. With Palmer to lead it off in a nothing game. Palmer's already got a base hit in this game, folks. He's 1 for 1. Can he keep it up? And that's going to be a fly ball out to Wilson. He's on his horse, has to go back and get it. Was playing Palmer short, but he makes the catch. Palmer almost had a single, maybe a double, but Wilson with his speed tracks it down. We're back to the top of the order, and Roberts, he's 0 for 2. And that's going to be a 17. That's going to be a fly ball again out to Wilson. Wilson's taking hits away left and right here, folks. Ryan Roberts just misses a base hit as Wilson comes charging in, makes a shoestring catch. Now it's up to Nick. He's 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked. Can he put the ball in play? And he does. No, he doesn't. That's a swing and a miss. He strikes him out, folks. 1, 2, 3 goes Baltimore to the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order due up here for KC. Damon, Wilson, and Brett. Johnny's walked and struck out. He's got to put the ball in play. And that's going to be a rare play. 32 and a 40. That's going to be a foul ball, strike 1. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Johnny. Here's Johnny. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Nick for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here in the 6th. And Willie Wilson's up, and Willie is 0 for 2. And not anymore, folks. That is going to be a infield hit. Wilson's aboard with a 1-out single. Let's see how long Wilson stays down there at first. That would be a 4. 30. 30. Let's see here. A 30. A 56 or lower. He's safe at second. Wilson takes off. And he's in there with a stolen base. So now you got the go-ahead run and scoring position for Brett with one out. As Wilson steals second. See how many stolen bases that is for Willie on the year. That is his 6th stolen base of the year, folks. Now Brett's up. He is 1 for 2. He's got one of the 4 hits for KC. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 35 and a 10 should be fielding column 1. And it is. And that's going to be a single, runner to third. That's an infield hit. Rip knocks it down, keeps the ball from going in the outfield, but now it's first and third. And Tartable's up. They're going to play back for the double play ball here. See if Palmer can get out of this mess. First and third, one out. Tartable is 1 for 2. He is grounded out, and he had a double his last time up in the 4th. And that's going to be a down the first of 56 and a 4. Be fielding column number 2. And that's going to be a single in the right. Runner's going to score. Danny hits it through the hole over there. And that's going to be a 1-0 lead. Still first and second. And one out now. As Danny delivers a RBI single. Mayberry comes up. He's 1 for 2. He's doubled back in the second. And that's more than a double. That ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. And all of a sudden, Kansas City has made it a 4-0 ball game, folks. Jim Palmer cruising through 5. It's getting touched up here in the 6th. I'll finally get the bullpen up. Like I say, a 0-0 game's turned into 4-0. Now you got Darryl up. He's 0 for 2. Nobody on. One out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Brady's back near the track, makes the catch for out number 2. And Merrifield, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. But the big 3-run homer makes it 4-0 KC. So we go to the top of the 7th. You've got the big boys due up here for the Orioles. Ripken, Anderson, and Roberts. The Frank type. Cal's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart, Escobar, at short. One out here in the 7th. Orioles need some runners to try to get back in this game. Brady's 0 for 2. He has flown out and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the 2nd. And that'll be 2 quick outs here in the 7th. So it's going to be up to Mr. Frank Robertson. Get something going. He is grounded out and popped up. And that's going to be a base on balls. The Orioles will take it. They need base runners. So now you got a runner down at second and the big boy, Big Powell up. Can he cut this lead in half with one swing of the bat? He's 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be against an 18. That is going to be a ground ball. Down back to the pitcher. Zach picks it up, fires over to first. Orioles strand 1. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 4-0 KC. And Palmer's going to stay in the game. I think he's due up 4th. Let's see here. Due up 3rd. So I'd like to see him get through this 7th inning. He's got the bottom part of the order due up. Escobar, Zach, and back to Johnny at the top. Escobar is 0 for 2, flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Brady in center for out number 1. And Zach Greinke's due up now. And Zach, he's 0 for 2. Grounded out and struck out against Palmer. Then we drop the dice. And that's going to be a base on balls. Walking the pitcher never works out well. Palmer walks his counterpart. That'll bring up Johnny Damon. We're dropping things left and right now. I'm dropping cards. Now Johnny's up. And Johnny is 0 for 2. He did walk back in the first. So here's the pitch to Johnny. And that's going to be a 20. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Nick. He camps under it, makes the catch for out number 2. 2 down now with a runner still down at first. And Willie Wilson's up. And Willie is 1 for 3. He has a single. He stole a base and came around to score in the 6th. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Brooks. He is going to fire over to first. And that'll end the inning, folks. Kansas City strands 1. To the top of the 8th we go with the bottom third of the order due up. Brooks, Chris, and a pitch hitter for Jim. And Brooks Robinson, he's 0 for 2, flown out and grounded out. Orioles would like to at least get 1 or 2 runs here. Make it a little easier in that 9th inning. And Brooks Robinson squares this up, folks. And that ball is hit hard into the gap in right field. And Brooks has got himself a leadoff double. And that will get the bullpen up here for KC. They got a damn good bullpen. Got Davis out there, Quisenberry, Montgomery, Greg Holland, and Steve Mango. Hell of a bullpen. Chris Hoyles is up now. Chris is 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. Can he keep this going? And nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. Chris strikes out. Now we'll have a pitch hitter here for Mr. Palmer. It might be Eddie coming off the bench here. I think that's who's going to come off the bench is Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray's going to come off the bench. See if he can cut into this 4-0 lead. I forgot to play in the 7th inning stretch. Thank God I'm a country boy. And now you got Eddie up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Eddie walks on down to first. And all of a sudden, Zach's just walked himself into a heap of trouble. Yeah, it is a heck of an outing for old Zach, ain't it, Ken? So now you got Brian Roberts up first and second. And Brian's 0 for 3, grounded out, struck out, and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Brett. 45 and a 5 should be fielding column 1. And it is. That's going to be the old 5-5-3 double play. Brett takes it to the bag, fires over to first, and that ends the inning, folks. And Zach is out of it with nobody scoring. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Now we need a new pitcher here. You got the lefty, righty, lefty due up. And Zach Britton, we're not bringing him out. So let's see here. It's the only lefty they got in the bullpen, but he's your closer. We're not bringing him out. Let's see here. think Eddie Watt is going to come out. Eddie. Let's see here. Yeah, Eddie's going to come out here. Trying to keep this a 4-run game. This is Eddie's second appearance of the year. No record and no ERA. See the team comparisons. Baltimore is 3-3 with 47 strikeouts, 23 walks, and 19 doubles. KC is also 3-3, 67 strikeouts, 13 walks, 17 doubles, and 5 triples. And Eddie's going to be facing Brett Tarterboy Mayberry. And here's the pitch to George. He's 2 for 3, having a nice game here. That's going to be a leadoff walk. Don't need that. You're already down 4-0. Danny Tartable comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI single plus a double. And that's going to be well hit. And all of a sudden, Eddie looks like he's getting lit up here in the 8th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field with nobody out. I think Brett's going to stop at third here. Yeah, with nobody out, he's going to stop at third. So now you got second and third, nobody out. They're going to have to bring the infield in. Can't afford to give up any more runs. And John's 2 for 3 with a 3-run homer in this game, folks. And he has maybe done it again. That ball is deep. Going back. Let's see here against righty. That'll be a 21. And that ball is hit into right field. And that is over Nick's head. And John's going to run for a while, folks. That brown-eyed, handsome man, he's headed for third. And since Beatles is in here, that's a triple, folks. And that just put this game out of reach as Tim joins us here, Cleveland baseball fan. Check out his great channel, folks. So now, turn out the lights. This party's over. All good things must come to an end. As old Dandy Dan would say, all you working people can go to bed. This game's over. And now you got a runner down at third, still nobody out. And they're just going to play back now for an out. Daryl's up. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a pop-up. 54 and a, 54 and a 9. That might be a line drive double play. Could be a line drive double play. And that's exactly what it is. Nice play by Brian Roberts. That's a line drive down the second. He fires over, and Mayberry, taking a nap down there, gets tagged out. So now you got nobody on. And Merrifield up. And he is 0 for 3. So the Orioles still showing some leather out there, folks. Yeah, I know Beatles loves that triple, don't he? And here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be well hit. How big was that double play now? Sure. This game is already ugly. That's going to be a base hit in the right field. Nick gets over there, cuts it off, holds him to a single. Nice play. Say they're not giving up as far as the glove goes. Playing some nice defense. Zach's going to stay in the game, try to get a complete game shutout. First, you got Escobar due up. And Escobar is 0 for 3. He has flown out twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Brian. He'll go to short way to second. And that'll end the inning. But 2 big runs score on the triple. Makes it 6-0 as we go to the top of the ninth. You got the 2-3-4 hitters due up here against Zach, but they have only gotten 2 hits in this ball game. The Orioles have. He's pitching a hell of a game, a 2-hit shutout. And Nick is one of the few base runners he's actually walked, struck out his other 2 times, has yet to put the ball in play. And he still hasn't, as Nick starts this inning off with a walk. And like I say, they'll get the bullpen up here. They sure don't want to blow this lead. That brings up Rifkin. He's 0 for 3, grounded out all 3 times. And that's going to be a 39 with a runner down at first. Let's see here. Mound to 41 and a 2. I think that's going to be fielding column 1. And it is. And do they pick the runner off? And they're going to pick the runner off at first. What the hell is Nick thinking about, folks? Nick Markakis gets picked off on a 6-0 lead. And now there's 1 out and nobody on. Some piss poor base running. And, they're showing some good play with the glove, but not on the pad. And of course, Ripken's going to hit one down the third baseline, and that's going to be a double, which probably would have scored Nick. So now you got a runner down at second and 1 out instead of, at the very least, second and third and nobody out. And Brady's 0 for 3. We're going to give Zach a chance here for the shutout. If a run comes across, we'll probably take him out. Brady's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a ground ball. 4 and a 36. Should be fielding column 1. And it is. That's going to be a pop out in the foul territory for out number 2. So it is all up to Mr. Frank Robinson. Keep this game alive for Baltimore. And Frank, he is 0 for 2. He did walk back in the 7th. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Frank out to end the ball game, folks. And Kansas City beats up on Baltimore 6-0. Look here at the box score. This is probably the shutout. Yep, Zach's first shutout of the year. And you got the KC, 6 runs on 13 hits and no errors. And Baltimore, no runs on only 3 hits and no errors. Baltimore were 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, left 5 men on base. Danny Tartable and Mayberry, both 3 for 4. Kansas City was 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and Mayberry with a triple, a double. Did he hit for the cycle? He didn't get to snap. He only had 3 hits. He was a single away from the cycle, folks. Single away from the cycle here. He had the double, then the homer. He struck out. Struck out in the 4th. Stopped him from getting the cycle. Palmer drops to 1-1, 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 5, gave up the homer. And Mr. Watt, he screwed the pooch. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, and walked 1. And Zach goes the distance. He goes to 1-1, a 3-hit shutout, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Take a look here at the standings and leaderboard in the American League. Yankees are 3 games up on the Blue Jays. Orioles are now 4 games back. Boston 4.5. Tampa Bay 5. And in the Central, the Tigers are a game up on the Indians and KC now. The Twins are 2 games back, and the White Sox 3. And out west, the Rangers got a 2.5 game lead over the whole division. Angels, Mariners, and A's are 2.5 games back. Willie Wilson with his 344 average leading the American League. You got 3 batters with 5 homers on the year. Roger Maris with his 13 RBIs leading the American League. And right now you got a few pitchers still with a 0 ERA leading the American League. You got 4 pitchers with 2 wins on the year. And JJ and Wetland with 3 saves on the year for the American League. Roger Maris leading in the MVP voting. And Dick Bosman leading in the Cy Young. The next game on the channel will be the final game of this 2-game series between the Orioles and Oroles. And it's going to be, I believe it's going to be Cuellar. Yep, Cuellar against Apba. Nice matchup. I want to thank Clinton Parks, Beatles Eternally. Check out his great channel. Ken Castro, Cleveland baseball fan Tim. Check out his great channel. Aaron Reed. Check out his great channel. And the first one in the ballpark was Hunter. Check out his channel, folks. And Parallel League. Till next time, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders and smash that like button and leave a comment. Until then, you all have a great day and take care. Oh, thank you, Clinton, buddy. Appreciate it.